Hi, everybody. Quick update on my health for those of you who are interested. Excuse me. Uh, in short summary, I realized that cancer had gained a lot of coverage in my bones. So I have done some chemotherapy and realized that the IV route is not for me right now. So I'm currently doing a oral chemotherapy. And then I recently did a few rounds of radiation that was supposed to be palliative, but is probably curative in the area that they radiated. And I am at this point mostly pain free and feeling quite good and a little bit more optimistic now. So there's like in short basis. So if anybody wants uh, more more details, I'll go into more detail a little bit now. So back in October, at the beginning of October, I met with my oncologist, and because between June and October, June and September, um, the PET scan said that the cancer had spread in quite a few of my bones. So at that time, when I met with my oncologist, I was like, okay, I'll do the chemo. Okay, I'll do the hormone management. Yeah, okay, I'll do all of that. She was super surprised I agreed to any of it. But at the time, I kind of agreed to all of it. And then in the approval insurance game, I kind of realized that I didn't really want to do the chemo. And I was a little afraid of it, and I'd meditated about it, and I'd felt into my body about it. And my body was like, no, don't do it. And so I was like, yeah, I think I'll just do the hormone route, and we'll just see how that goes until the next scan. Well, then my pain got really bad in my right hip area. So, like, towards the end of October, I ended up in the hospital. The pain was so bad in my hip area, and it was like from my belly button to the outside of my hip, like that, just that whole everywhere, my butt, everything. I couldn't pinpoint exactly where the pain was coming from, and I thought, well, maybe I have like appendicitis or something. So I went to the, so I went to the hospital, and they did a CT scan, and the doctor came back in and showed me the CT scan, and basically was like, I mean, he was like acting like he just felt bad for me because, like, wow, this lady's fucked. He was looking at my scan, he's showing it to me. There was literally cancer in every single bone showed on that scan. It was a CT of my abdomen and pelvis. I did not have um, appendicitis. And it was assumed at the time that the pain was just due to this like widespread disease process throughout my pelvis in all of those bones. But after having that guy show me the CT scan, and like I got to like see it for myself, and I was like, whoa, shit, I can't, like, we have to do something like right now because that's a lot. And so I called my oncologist. I'm like, hey, so you got that approval for my chemo, and it's the last day of the month, and my insurance changes tomorrow. So, hey, if you can squeeze me in really quick today, I'll come in and do it. So, Fear sent me in there to get this Enhertu infusion. And you guys, from somebody who just doesn't really take a lot of medications and doesn't eat a lot of chemicals and stuff, I felt so disgusting receiving that infusion. Um, I just started feeling like heavy and gross and swollen, and like just every it just didn't feel very good. At the time, they also gave me some steroids and a shot that was supposed to take care of my nausea, any prophylactically, if I had any nausea for 3 days. I was told that this drug is really well tolerated. People don't really complain about a lot of side effects, even though they're possible. Like, people are really doing well with this medication, and they thought I might too. So I was like, okay, we'll try it. And actually, I was even gonna like not do that 3-day nausea medicine. I'm like, now if it's well tolerated, it's cool. I don't need any more medicines than I actually need. Right? I don't want more. But I did it anyway, just because it was my first time getting the medication. And when that wore off, I received the infusion on Tuesday. That wore off on Saturday. I was so sick. I've never been that sick in my life. I could not keep anything down, anything, even sips of water, for that whole weekend. I couldn't even get out of bed. Anytime I moved, I would be sick. I can tolerate pain, but I do not tolerate nausea well. And I had to go in Monday morning and get some IV fluids, and I still was sick for like a whole other week after that. So the tumor in my chest wall was gone within a week following that infusion. I think it's a great medication. I'm not sure that I can do it again anytime soon because of how awful it was. But I did tell my oncologist I am willing to talk about it again, maybe at a lower dose. So perhaps later on. Currently, I'm doing an oral chemotherapy called Ibrance. And it seems to be going okay. I'm not sick. There are some side effects, but it's not awful. So, radiation. I was offered radiation when I had this pain in my hip, right? And because it was assumed that it's just this cancer that's causing this. And so my oncologist said, hey, you can go talk to this radiation oncologist guy because he can probably help you with your pain. Cool, I'll go talk to him. He ordered an MRI of my spine because he wanted to see if there was any other areas that were like at risk of having impediment into the spinal cord area, that maybe we should do that area also or first or whatever. He just wanted to see. I had a hard time getting in for this MRI. Meanwhile, you guys, between the end of October when I went to the hospital for that and got that CT and had the chemo, between that time, like weeks have passed now, right? And my pain just has been improving and improving and improving. And I was taking a lot of pain medicine for a while. I couldn't even walk or drive very well for a while. So I saw this radiation guy, and he was trying to like hurry up and get me in, but this MRI was delayed. And so during this MRI delay, my pain is getting even better. And pretty soon, by the time I even have this MRI, my pain in my hip is pretty much gone. It's been about 6 weeks now since this hospital episode. So we get this MRI back, and it shows that I literally have 2 spinal fractures. One up in my T4 and the other one on the right side of my sacrum. Which is probably when that happened was when I ended up in the hospital, because I was in the bulk of my pain right there. And of course, it's considerably gotten better since then. So I really hate being in pain, and I feel like I tolerate pain pretty well. And I felt like kind of a weenie not being able to work or drive or do much of anything for myself there for a few weeks. But once I got that kind of confirmation that, wow, I actually had 2 fractures in my spine from this cancer, but like no wonder I was in so much pain. And also I'm so glad that it's healed and that I can do all of the things that I need to do and I'm not in pain anymore. However, I did get some radiation. I allowed him to do some radiation across the back of my pelvis. I did continue to have a lot of pain around that back and my lower back and stuff. And by just doing 3 kind of strong treatments across the back, it honestly, after the first treatment, I haven't had a single bit of pain in the back of my pelvis since then. I am probably feeling as good as I've felt since probably June at this point, which makes me feel a lot more optimistic. I think I said in my last video that when I was in that much pain, I really didn't think that I would make it. Like I really was doomsday, like this is it. There's no way that I could beat this. I'm on my way out. Like there's no possible way how could I possibly live in this much pain? Like if somebody's in this much pain, they have to be dying, right? And now that I'm not in that much pain, I feel a whole lot more optimistic about all kinds of life moving forward. Yeah, maybe I'll make another video about the things that I'm doing that are non-medical related, because there's a whole lot of that. And I feel like those of you who are with me on the spiritual journey and you do all this stuff, I've been burning through stuff and clearing stuff out of my space like crazy this last few weeks. And I feel like this year is going to be really super awesome, and I can't wait to see what happens and how things shift, and how I can transform this into something much, much greater. Anyway, Happy New Year, everyone. I've got some special stuff coming up. Professionally, I'm going to be doing a whole lot more spiritual work coming up. I'm going to be offering a past life regression coming up soon. I'm going to be offering a breathwork session with the medicines of rose and cacao coming up soon. And also I'm going to be teaching intuitive development again starting in February. So if anybody is interested, talk to me and be looking out. I'll have some deals coming up on that and much more information coming soon.